Hello everyone. Today we shall look into project management report making. Let us import the CSV file dataset which we have. I have just opened a new Power BI desktop and saved it with a name of project management report. I'll click on get data. I'll select the text CSV because it is a CSV file. I have this project management dataset, sample dataset. I'll just click on it and click on open. Here we could see that comma separated file has the delimiter comma. I'll write and I'll click on this transform data and let us understand the data and its distribution, how it is appearing. Here you could see that there are around 16 columns. In the left bottom you could see there are 16 columns and there are 99 rows. Okay, in the first column we have project name, project description, we have project type, manager name, and region department. We have the project cost and project benefit, the complexity, status of it, and we have the completion percentage, or you could say the progress of it. The different phases, we have 5 different phases where we explore, develop, plan, implement, and measure. Okay, and the next one is the year, month, the start date, and the end date. Start date is the start date of the project, end date is the expected end date of the project if it is future, and if it is past it is the completed date of project. Okay, these are the few columns which we have. Okay, the data seems to be fine and clean. I'll just rename the table name as project management data. Okay, I'll just close and apply. Now the data is being loaded to the Power BI desktop. Okay, here we have all the columns on the right, and we have this PM data table where project management data is available. I'll just click on this text box in the home tab. Okay, I'll just little make it bigger, and here since it is text box, I'll write project management report. Okay, I'll just increase the size to 32. Okay, and I'll just make the color as dark blue, this color which has the theme of blue, and I'll make it little bold. Here you could change the font if you require. Now we could see that I have this project management report uh, title made, okay, using text box. Now what I would require is the basic measures in order to understand about the project, like how many projects are there, what would be the benefit, and what would be the cost. Basic simple measures we can write. I'll click over here, I'll click on new measure. Let us create a new measure. Here we could write projects equal to distinct count project name. Okay, I'll close the parenthesis, hit enter. Let us create another measure which is project benefit. I'll click on new measure. Here we could write project benefit, or else you could say benefit equal to sum of, you could consider this project benefit column, close the parenthesis and hit enter. Similarly, select the table, create a new measure, and let us write one more measure for the cost. Here I'll write cost equal to sum of project cost, close the parenthesis and hit enter. So in order to represent that, let us take a text card. Okay, we have this text card. In the fields, I'll show the number of projects. Here I have brought the number of projects measure. Okay, let us format it a little. Click on view, select the format tab. Here I'll turn on the title, turn off the label. In the title I would like to write projects. Okay, and I would like to make the text color as white, background color with the theme color which we have, this one. Okay, I'll center align it. I would like to increase the title to one more font. Okay, now I have this projects. Okay, what I'll do is I'll change the color of value. I'll change the color of value to white, and I'll put the background within a shape. Okay, here I'll go to insert. I'll bring a shape. I can bring this shape. Okay, I can bring this shape, and I could change the color of it. Okay, here I could shape, and I will go to the shape and style, go to fill. Here you could choose the necessary color we want. Okay, now this color matches here, and here you could see that I need to send this to background. So what we need to do is click on format, send to back. Okay, if you click outside, now you could see that your project is available. Okay, here go to size and style, turn off the background. You could see that the projects 99 is visible. Go to title. Okay, and we could invert the color if we want. Here what I'll do is, for title, I can click on this title, go to text color. Let us make the text color as blue and background color as white. Okay, the so that the text card is properly visible. Okay, go to size and style, turn on the visual border, turn on the shadow. Okay, go to the shadow, change the color to white. So this could give some good appearance. And what you can do is you could rearrange it at some place where it is properly visible. Okay, now I'll rearrange it to that place. Let us bring our text card to the place. Okay, now you could arrange this here as you want. If I like uncheck it, here you could see that it is aligned. Now what I'll do is I'll copy the text card and paste it here. For this measure, let us bring the benefit. So instead of projects, I'll click on this benefit. Okay, we have 874 million. Okay, and I'll go to the title, and instead of projects, I'll write benefit, and I'll copy the text card. Okay, here I'll input the cost measure instead of benefit measure, and again I could click on title, edit cost instead of benefit. So if I click outside, here you could see that the project benefit and cost is properly visible. In order to make the font size appear properly, you could make the uniform font size, which is 15. Otherwise you could decrease it a little, like 13 or something. Okay, this is the title size. Let us go to the value. Here you could decrease the value size to maybe 30. Okay, now I'll just select the card, format painter. Okay, now these are the few important measures where I would like to see the values. Okay, and moving ahead, let us understand the slicers which we require. I'll bring this header to little downside. Now I'll bring in the slicer. I'll select the slicer. Here in the field, I'll select the complexity. Let us format it a little. Here I'll go to slicer settings, change the style to drop down. Okay, now we have this style. If I select, I could see the high, low, medium values. What I would do is I'll go to title and turn on the title, turn on the slicer header. Here in the title, I'll write complexity. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll change the background to blue, and I'll change the text color to white. Here I'll center align it. Okay, I'll go to the values. Here I'll bold the values, and here you could see that the bolded values are appearing, and I would increase the size a little if at all it is required. Okay, now I hope it is visible. I'll go to size and style. What I'll do is I'll turn on the visual border and turn on the shadow. Okay, and I'll click on visual border. I'll select the rounded corners and I'll type 12. Okay, now this is the slicer which I wanted. I could drag and drop here. I could select necessary slicer. I'll copy this slicer. I'll paste it. Okay. Now here instead of complexity, I could bring other column which is department. Okay. Now I'll go to the title. Instead of complexity, I'll write department. I'll copy the slicer. Okay. And paste it. Here instead of department, we could bring in the other column which is face. Okay, again in the title I'll write face. I could copy paste the slicer. Here instead of face, I'll bring in another column which is project manager. Okay, in the title I would edit as project manager. Okay, and let us see if any other columns are suitable. Here we have the project name, so I can copy this slicer, paste it, and instead of project manager, let us bring in the project name. I will select it. I will bring in the project name. Okay, I will rename the title to project name. We have one more important dimension, which is region. I'll little adjust this in order to fit in the region column, region slicer. I'll copy paste the slicer. I could paste over here, little resize it. Okay, in the title I'll place region, and I'll change this project name to region. You could also view the other titles such as status. Okay, we shall see how we could use the status, project type, and also with respect to the year and month columns. What we'll do is I'll deselect here. Okay, now we have these columns. We could arrange it a little so that it could appear little better and little uniformly aligned. Okay, now these are the multiple slicers where you could select in order to slice and dice the data. Okay, in the page information, here you could see the page name and the standard. Okay, if you like to add any tooltip for the visuals, you could add it. Here in the canvas settings, we have this size of the canvas. Here I could custom it. Now we could see the height and width is around 720 and 1280. Let us fit in the visuals and understand whether we need to customize the canvas or not. What I'll do is I'll click on more visuals. I'll click on from app source. In order to access this app source, you need to use log in with either institutional account or corporate account or any user free learner account, so that you could get the custom visuals. Here I'll type Gantt chart. Here you could see this custom visual Gantt chart. Select it. You could just add it. I'll click OK. Now here all these slicers which I have made, you could you could select all the slicers and just using upper arrow in the keyboard, you could move little upwards. Okay, so that they could be aligned properly. Now what we shall do is we'll select this Gantt chart which we have imported. Okay, this is our Gantt chart. Here we could increase the size of it a little, and let us bring in the important things which are required for the Gantt chart. Here in the task, what I'll do is I'll bring in the project name. Okay, and in the parent I'll ignore it for now. In the start date, we have the start date. Here you could scroll down and select the start date, and here in the end date you could select the end date which is available here. Okay, in the duration, either if you have the duration which is the difference between end date and start date, you could choose the duration. Since we don't have the duration, it is not a problem. It would find out the duration accordingly if it is if the respective dates are present. Here there is percentage completion. I'll select the completion percentage column which is available. Okay, here we have the completion percentage, and if at all we need some other tooltips, like suppose that I want department, and I suppose that I could take even the project manager. Here we could take all the necessary things. So these are the few things which are required for us within the chat. Okay, here you could see that for the respective project name and for the respective timeline, we have the project duration which is appearing, and the completion dates. If you hover over it, you could see what is the project name, start date, end date, percentage completion, and the department and project manager that we have dropped into the tooltip of the visual. Now what we'll do is we shall little format it. Here you could see the size and style. You could just turn on the border, and you could just round it a little, and you could turn on the shadow. Okay, moving ahead, in the title you can write project details with timeline. Okay, here you could give the text color. Suppose I'll give the text color as white, this background color as blue, and I'll arrange the horizontal alignment. Okay, I'll move ahead. I'll click on general. Here you could see that you can either group the tasks or scroll to the current time. If I scroll to the current time, if I turn it on, you could see that this dotted line, it scrolls to the current timeline. I could turn it off. You could display the grid lines. You could display the days which are present. Okay, and moving ahead, here you can mention the days off. If I could turn it on, if at all my Sunday is week off, I could show that my Sunday is week off. Okay, here in the fill I can just turn it into blue color, so that you could find that the blue colors which are appearing, they are the first day of week, which is Sunday. So since here I don't want to show it, I'll turn it off. Okay, in the legends you have the legend at right position, and the title is on. Okay, here I could even turn off the legends. And milestones, since there are no milestones present, we could ignore. Category labels, we have this category labels. I could increase the font size a little bit, like around 12 or 15. Okay, I'll make it to 12, and I could increase the width. Suppose I increase the width to 200. Here you could see that the width of this project name has increased. Okay, I could even increase till maybe 350, so that you could view the all names appropriately to better make it into 300. Okay, now I hope this project name is appearing properly, and depending on the timeline you could scroll and view the project details. If you scroll down, it will show the respective timelines and the start and completion dates. Okay, moving ahead, we have this tooltip settings where you could format it. The task completion, it is the maximum completion, like the percentage you could mention it. Okay, and in the task settings we have this task color. Instead of green color, what I'll do is I'll select our theme color. So here you could see that if at all I put the theme color, and if I scroll to the right, here you could see that blue color is appearing, which is fine with me. And moving ahead, in the date type, here we have the weekly basis. The timeline here which is shown is on weekly basis. I'll change it to month. Okay, now we have monthly timelines, where you could scroll up and see that our timelines which are represented monthly wise. If you hover over it, you'll get the details, and as you scroll down you could see the timeline and the projects where it is appearing and the completion dates. So this is how Gantt chart could be made and useful which could be made it in a useful way in order to view the project deadlines and timelines. Okay, here you could notice that there is very little space left in the bottom. and we would require few more visuals in order to showcase the necessary output. Okay, I'll just expand it to the right. Here what we shall do is I'll go to the canvas settings. Here in the height, instead of 720, suppose that I write 1020. Okay, now we have a lot of space at the bottom which is left. I could utilize it for making few visuals. Okay, here what I'll do is I'll select the column chart, clustered column chart. Okay, I'll make it into a shorter one. Here I would like to see the visuals, which is the year and the benefit. Okay, in the x-axis I took the year, and in the y-axis I would like to see the benefit and along with the cost. Okay, so this is benefit along with the cost. I would little format it. Okay, you could select the format tab and turn on the data labels, and here I'll go to values. I'll select the bold. Okay, I'll change the color to black, and instead of display units as auto, I'll keep it in millions. Okay, now it is in millions. What I'll do is I'll go to x-axis. I'll turn off the title. In the values, I'll make it to bold. I'll choose the darker color of black color. Okay, and here in y-axis I'll select it. Here in the values I'll select the bold. Here in the color I'll take it dark black. In the units, here I want in millions so that it could change to millions, and here I could turn off the title for y-axis. Okay, I could little format it, and in the title I could write yearly benefit and cost. I'll just type it. Here in the text color I could keep it white. In the background color I could choose the theme color, and I could center align it. I could little bit increase the size. Okay, I hope our benefit and cost with respect to year is appearing properly. So if you could little zoom in, okay, and you could see this clustered column chart appearing properly for the respective years. And I'll just go to the size and style. What I'll do is I'll turn on the visual border, I'll turn on the shadow. Here I'll round the corners a little, okay, so that it could appear a little smoothly. Here I'll select this, I'll copy paste it. Okay, here now I'll change this visual to the another visual, which is bar chart, clustered bar chart. Okay, now this in this clustered bar chart, instead of year, what we shall do is we shall bring in the other column which is left by us, which is project type. Okay, here in the project type we have income generation, process improvement, working capital management, and cost reduction. So we can find the respective benefit and cost for it. What we shall do is here we shall go to the y-axis values. Okay, here we are unable to see the working capital improvement. What we can do is go to y-axis values, increase this maximum area width. Now we could see that working capital improvement is appearing. We could little increase the value size so that the headings are properly appearing. Okay, and if at all you would require to change the font, you could change the font. I would go to the title and change the title to project type benefit and cost. Okay, if at all you would like to make any other visuals based on the selection or based on the appearance, you could just little adjust it. Here we have something left, which is the status. Okay, I'll select a pie chart. Okay, otherwise what I could do is, in order to copy the formattings, I'll just select the visual, paste it. Okay, now I'll turn it to the pie chart So instead of year, what I could do is I'll bring the status. Here I have something called status. Okay, now event status, we have this 4 different values. What I can do is I can go to the, I can just show the either the benefit or cost. Okay, I would like to see the benefit accordingly, and this might show little difficult. This might appear in a difficult way, but what I can do is I'll go to detail labels. I'll click on category percent of total, and I will turn off the legends. Okay, what I'll do is rename the title I'll rename the title as status benefit. Okay, now here I'll just rearrange it a little, and then I'll make it uniform so that the values are understandable. It is better to maintain some level of space so that the values are not you know mixing up. So I could just press the keyboard left arrow key and just move it a little. Okay, here you could see that our project management report is now properly made. Here we could select any phase. Here if I select first phase, you'll see all the necessary projects, the yearly benefit, status benefit, and also the project type benefit, and with respect to the other details as well. So in this way we could understand the project management data in a better way by visualizing it. I hope you could add a few more visuals and experiment with the data which is present. Please add on your comments and try practicing it. Thank you for watching, and we shall meet in the next video.